Yeah. Welcome to Compai's Expat channel. Everything expat. Are crackdowns coming again to Sosua? All right, guys. Everybody's asking me, John, what's going on in Sosua? Are crackdowns coming again? Well, let's talk about the history of crackdowns in Sosua. This is why you should subscribe to my channel. Most of the content creators down here do not have the length of time I have. They don't have the history. They don't do as much business as I do. To understand what's going to happen, you got to know your history. History doesn't repeat, but it sure does rhyme. I've seen crackdowns twice in Sosua. The first time was ugly. So let's talk about the first two times. Let's talk about, then we're going to get into what I think is going to happen, and then how to avoid becoming an example. All right, so I remember when Sosua was a totally different town. The girls used to be able to, they would just walk in a loop. They would walk in a loop. Things changed when we lost our European market because of the 2008 recession. And then this new entity came out called YouTube. YouTube changed Sosua because it took what Sosua was doing and threw it out there so it was publicized. And it was done by two guys, Andy the Hobo Traveler and Cuba Dave. I'm not going to say anything bad about anybody, but these two guys were not the best at characters, because when you have to make money off of women the way they did, they can't respect you, my friend. So Cuba Dave, just so you understand the context, if you know anything about him, he ended up getting thrown in jail in Costa Rica because of his videos. He was promoting prostitution. He would do videos with pictures of girls lined up behind him. Just on his, like a bulletin board, and they would just be lined up, and he would talk about exploits. He would talk about girls. Pretty much a lot of the stuff was going on in today's world on YouTube. We had a female mayor back around 2011 for 8 years, starting 8 years until Willie became the mayor. She did the first round of crackdowns because the order came from Santo Domingo. This is where longevity down here is super important. A lot of these guys have been down here since COVID. They think they know, they don't know. It's been super calm since COVID, and it's going to change because the same things that happened in 2011, 2012 are happening again. So when the first round of crackdowns happened, it came from the Capitol. And the first thing they did was they took all the chairs and tables off the sidewalks. They made Sosua, it used to be a walking town. They also took them away. So now you had traffic downtown. Sosua was a walking town twice. After they took all the tables and chairs off the sidewalks, they made everybody put up windows. That drove me crazy. You know, I come to the Caribbean to be outside and not be stuck inside. So basically, they put up windows so people couldn't see the girls inside. They couldn't see the activity when they were driving down the street. That's why they put the windows in. So you had Cuba Dave, Andy the Hobo Traveler, promoting the snot out of it, making money, clicks, all that good stuff, subscribers on YouTube. That was not welcomed by the people in positions of authority in town. Did not like it. Just so the context of things, they also closed down Casablanca by Gaspar Hernandez. They closed down places in Santiago. Cristal's got closed down in Puerto Plata, and a couple other places got closed down in Puerto Plata. It wasn't just the Sosua crackdown, it was countrywide. But Sosua, being the biggest and the most famous with the most eyes on it, the town where the whoremongers would come, got the most exposure. And everybody thought it was strictly based here. It didn't start here. It came from the capital. So when they did the first crackdown, the first thing they did, tables and chairs off off the sidewalks, made everybody put in windows. And then they really brought the hammer down. They closed Roomba. They closed Classico. They closed another bar down the street by Rancho Tipico. Most people who've been here a while know the one I'm talking about. They closed CMP. And they closed them down for a little while. And they put people in jail. It was such a hard crackdown. Guys sold their businesses and never came back. Also, you also had one owner who owns a lot, to this day still owns a lot of property in town, an Italian gentleman. He did a lot of good things in the town. Started Casa De Arte, a lot of other things. But his business catered to prostitution, just like the other ones that got shut down. So it didn't matter that he set up this art center, owned a lot of property in town. He actually took his case all the way to the Supreme Court and won, and they still denied him entry. Then he went back to the Supreme Court. They let him in, and then they deported him soon after that. So when you hear these guys down here, oh, I got, I get a gift every month, so I'm covered. No, you're not. You're not covered. And this also goes for the guys who hang around with that lieutenant from the cess store and the two lieutenants from the National Police. And you guys walk around with these three guys, and you think you're safe. Nobody's safe. When it comes to that kind of behavior, it's like playing spades. You might have a lieutenant who's a five of spades, but the person you're having a problem with, he might have a face card. Because the more successful people are down here, the more they want to be incognito, and you won't know who they are. Just a heads up, guys. So these guys got thrown in jail. They had to sell their properties. It was nasty. And a lot of these businesses stayed closed for a while. So that we're going back around 2012. That's when the first round happened. And then around 2016, they did it again. They tried closing the street, so they ended up opening the street back up. Now they're doing things different. Now they're chasing the girls, because now the girls are not wearing the heels anymore. They're not dressed really pretty. They can't. You can't run in 3-inch heels. So now they're wearing sneakers. They're wearing blue jeans, because now they have to run from the police. And they also made it hard for the girls to go into bars too. So they really just did things that, in my opinion, that were counterproductive. But you still have YouTube, and you still have YouTube promoting it. Then COVID happened. Things settled down as far as the crackdowns. The behavior was still the same. What is going on now? Because the tension is high. There's such a strong undercurrent going on. And if you're down here just partying for a week, you have no idea what's going on. I'm going to post a link in the description down below of a local news article done from the gentleman that runs the TV studio here in town, and he blasts how Sosua is today. And he pretty much says 4 bars need to get closed. I hope that doesn't happen, because I don't want to see anybody's business get closed. When it gets to that point where there's open debate like that, there's people that are supporting him, his point of view. There's people who are supporting his point of view. Let me give you guys a little background. Dominicans are super proud people. They love their country. They love their town. They do not like when us foreigners come down here and we don't stay in our lane. We are meant to stay in our lane. When we put their dirty laundry out to be seen for everybody, they don't like it. I will say this. I honestly believe, and I hope I am wrong. I really do. I hope I'm wrong. But I'm filming this, I believe today's the 8th of September. By Thanksgiving of 2024, you're going to see another crackdown happen. And I'll get into reasons why. But Dominicans are proud of their country, and they're very proud of their city. They don't want their city to be looked bad. And it's the way the content creators have been making Sosua look bad. It's gotten too much attention. Keep personal private and keep private personal. There's no reason to be doing what we're doing, and it's us Americans. We have done it to ourselves because we're going to change how, if you like Sosua the way it is, and you're subscribing to those channels, you're giving those channels views and likes, you're part of the problem. It's drawn too much attention to what Sosua does down here. Certain things just should be done and not said and not publicized. Cuba Dave got thrown in jail in Costa Rica for doing what there's at least a dozen content creators talking about prostitution in Sosua. He got thrown in jail. Guys, I don't want to see you be the next one thrown in jail. They're going to make an example out of somebody. They've done it numerous times in the past. But most of you guys haven't been down here long enough to see it. You don't remember it. Most of the guys are down here since COVID. It's been a different world down here since COVID. Different world than it was before. Okay? The other thing is, it's the difference of mentality has changed too. The good girls don't come here anymore. The knife fight that happened 2 weekends ago, I think, was the final straw. It was everywhere over Facebook. It was in the private WhatsApp groups. I had at least 7, 8 people send me the same video. What the heck's going on? It's pretty obvious what's going on. It's gotten to a level where they have to address it. And this is why I said I think a crackdown is coming by Thanksgiving of 2024. I don't go out much at night. I've been doing it too long. It's just ran its course. I prefer to be home. But I was out about a little over 3 weeks ago, and I seen a couple of my buddies who are in the police force from Puerto Plata. When you see police from Puerto Plata in Sosua, watch out. Things are changing. And the reason you had police from Puerto Plata is because you had the 2 female fiscalias from Puerto Plata down here in Sosua at night. That's some serious stuff. Because what you got to understand, the fiscalia in Sosua, he's not going to put you in jail. You might come out of jail from spending the night in there, but he's not going to sentence you to jail. It's just like small claims court. Figure it out, get it together, don't do it again, make peace, go away separately. Puerto Plata is where the actual madness happens. That's where you get, you can get in big trouble in Puerto Plata. You don't want to go to Puerto Plata. So the fiscally in Puerto Plata, they'll bring charges against you. That's serious shit. So when you see these 2 female fiscalias yanking girls out of bars, never seen that before. So I see my guys from Puerto Plata, so I walk, hey guys, what are you doing down here? And then I see the 2 female fiscalias, and I know one of them, not from a good way either. So I just, hey, talk to you later, my friend. And they pulled 2 girls out of the bar I was sitting in. I was on the beach 10 days ago. Sister taking girls off the beach. Never seen that before. So you got Fiscalia from Puerto Plata yanking girls away. Sister off the beach. You got people in positions of authority saying it needs to stop. Pretty much saying, not by name, but 4 bars need to get shut down because of the view, how it's affecting Sosua. Sosua is better. The other thing that really was brought to my attention was yesterday, or Saturday. Having lunch with a buddy of mine, Monker, and dude, head of Sestor, head of Ahmet, tons of police walking downtown. But here's the other thing. There were people in position of authority that are not elected officials, but are very well involved in politics. One of them I know very, very well. And I know for a fact this gentleman put forth legislation in Sosua to ban quads in Albate and other parts of Sosua because of how us Americans drive them quads. They're tired of it. They're just they're worn out their welcome with these quads. So as these guys in a big group, Captain Major Assessor Ahmet, not elected officials, but people in positions of authority, telling people, don't park on the side of the road, get these chairs off the sidewalk, cleaning it up, just like they did for the first crackdown. So we got them yanking girls out of bars with the Fiscalia, because I know for a fact, and I think I said this in another video, the Fiscalia told all these bars down Pedro Calisante, either you work with us or you're going to be against us, and we'll shut you down, and they will shut you down. They've done it before, seen guys thrown in jail, seen guys have to sell their businesses because they were allowing open brothels. And it's worse now than it's ever been. It's horrible now. I get it. It's what guys come down here to do. I have nothing against whoremongers. Guys, do what you got to do. It is what it is. I came to this town. I knew what this town was after a while. And I love this town. But I don't want to see anybody get in trouble. So keep private personal and personal private. Be safe. Because these girls are hungry. Girls are not coming down here as much as they used to. So you're left with the ones that are just the bottom of the barrel. If you're going to come to Sosua, I suggest having your activities squared away through social media accounts before you get here. Things are going to change. And it's up to you, as the guy who's coming down here for a vacation, to be one step ahead of the curve. The nightlife's going to change a little bit. When they close down, I honestly believe they're going to close places down. Now, it might be just for a night or two, or it could be for 10 days. I don't think they're going to close them down permanently. But I think within 18 months, you're going to see the pink zone open up. That's just my gut feeling, because that's what everybody's talking about, especially in this article that I'll post down below. Because during the second crackdown, that's when the government created that zone specifically for that activity. They don't want to get rid of it. They're just tired of it being in everybody's face. They want to control it. They want to control the image. And guys, think about this. You know, I have this conversation every now and then, and guys are like, well, we bring so much to the table. You do not. You help us out for 4 days. But in the real picture, the real economic driver for the North Coast is the sale of villas and condos, and the people that come down here longer than 4 days. Because when the guys come down here for 4 days, they're doing one thing. Like I said before, when we had our European market, they would come for 10 days to 2 weeks, and they would have a real vacation. They would go to the beach every day to go swimming. They would snorkel. They would scuba dive. They would kite surf. They would go, they would do a lot of other things than just dune buggies and whoremonger. For a while there, whoremongers changed their name to sex tourists. Because that was the focus. So, what do I see happening? I see them shutting businesses down again. Short term, they're going to really start cracking down on the girls even more, which is going to be hard to see because they're really cracking down on them right now. And if the girls would just walk, don't congregate in front of the Chinese stores, Bar Central, the taxi spot. If they would just walk in a loop, they'd be fine. And here's something else what most people don't remember. When we had the female mayor, she had a meeting with all the girls in City Hall and saying, ladies, just walk, dress appropriately, look pretty. Nobody wants to see you in spandex, tucked in places that they shouldn't be tucked in. Look presentable. And that's what it is. There's just too much money coming onto the North Coast for people to drive down the road and see what they see. They don't want to see the girls and how the guys interact with them on the street, because a lot of the guys are just touching up on them. The girls are grinding up on them. And you got families on the other side of the street. And the Dominicans are tired of it. Guys, the Dominicans are angry how their city is being represented online. And it's us Americans who are doing it. So there's just too many things coming at one time. And it's all coming to a head. Think about it. Playa Bergantine's coming online. Vin Diesel's building a film studio there. 4,000 hotel rooms. It's going to be the next economic driver of the North Coast. They're building a satellite university here on Pedro Calasante just to train people in tourism. The government, the central government, is so behind this. They're not going to let guys who misrepresent their city and their country to continue what they're doing. I'm not trying to trash anybody, but guys, if you love Sosua, you love the activity, change how you do things. Don't be grinding up on girls on the walking down the street. So guys, it's the image of Sosua that the government is really coming down on, because when you do a search on Sosua, prostitution comes up, and there's too much money coming in on the North Coast. They're going to have to address it. So guys, I hope it turns out good for everybody. I hope it turns out good for me. I'm home here. I'm well invested here. This is it. This is how I survive. But with my business, Casa De Compai. But guys, crackdowns are going to happen. I can almost guarantee it. I don't want to see it. The YouTube creators have really brought a lot of heat down. I keep saying that. I've said it in a lot of videos. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. You cannot throw things in the face of Dominicans that are super proud people and not expect pushbacks. I don't want to see anybody go to jail, especially in this country. They're going to make examples out of people. Please don't be the example. Please. Because there's nothing our government can do for you at that point. There's nothing. When it comes to sex tourism, sexual exploitation, America's going to wash their hands of you. If anything, you better hope they don't bring charges of you in the States like they do with other crimes. But guys, it's going to happen. I honestly believe that. And I think 18 months, you're going to see the pink zone start kicking in. You're going to see that get busy. But I don't want to be Johnny Downer on this, but I think it needs to be said. I see the repetition. History doesn't repeat itself, but it does a good job of rhyming. And I've seen this twice before. I can feel it. I talk to people in positions of authority in town, and these people are not happy. So let's see how this plays out. Guys, be safe. Please subscribe. Hit the like button. Peace out.